It's been a pretty normal ramp up. Got off the mound a few times already. Trying to get ready, a little bit earlier because of WBC. But other than that, I've just been, exercising. I'm a big believer in just get some exercise. So I've been running, lifting, running after kids and stuff like that. Just having fun.
Wayno said you were the most patriotic person he knew, so he can't wait to see you pitch in the World Baseball Classic. What will those emotions be like for you?
Just super happy, super proud. Getting to put on the red, white, and blue. It puts you in good company as far as just sports teams in general, and they put together a really good team. And my joke was, even if I don't play at all, when you look at that roster, Miles snuck on there. Miles is on there, like the 12th guy on the dream team or something. Like it's just I'll be glad to be there and contribute any way I can. But there's some incredible talent on that team, and I'll be happy to represent the USA.
When you look at this starting rotation, you look at the depth that you have in the overall experience of the rotation. How big of a strength is that to come in this strength?
I think that's huge. We've got a good amount of service time in the starting rotation. I mean, Wayno, brings the average number of service time years way up, but they've got a lot of other guys that are, guys getting ready to be free agents, like Montgomery and Flair, myself, so that's, 6 years of experience right there. And Matt's has been doing what he's been doing for a long time. So I think having the experience, these guys that know how to pitch, know what to expect, how to make it through a long season. So I think that's going to be a big strength for us.
Most said when he was in here the other day, they were so focused on our guys that hadn't gotten like contracts, had conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But as you enter a season before that, is that something that you would be open to discussing at spring training if that came up?
Yeah, I mean, I would never be a guy that would be like, don't talk to me about it. You want to know conversation's conversation. It's harmless. It's not gonna bother me or worry me or anything like that. So, everyone knows where I stand. I love St. Louis. It's a great place to play, and yeah.
What was it like watching free agency with the dollars being thrown around? I mean,
It's nice.
price of
Yeah,
pitches.
it's nice. Underscores the need for good pitching and getting it at a good price, which is nice. It's nice to see the older guys, getting a bunch of money. I asked my agent what I got to do to make some of those big. We said, well, you got to win like 4 or 5 Cy Young awards, and I was like, okay, well, just start with another good, healthy season.
So the guy who's dealt with some injuries yourself in the past, when you see Jack, he's been through the last couple of years, and now before this season, look at a healthy Jack Flaherty.
I mean, it's when you've got one of your most talented guys on your staff, let alone maybe one of the most talented guys in the league with the stuff that he can put out there when he's healthy. It's an exciting prospect to have him, to have another full season of Jack. And I know he's one of the hardest workers out there, so I have no doubt that he's been doing everything to get in shape for this season. And he's one of those guys that is really fun to compete against because he likes to get under your skin and you can get under his skin. We can, and with Wayno especially, our little like in rotation competitions for stuff. And, he's a guy you want to have in that competition because he's going to help you elevate your game.
You can see the frustration.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got a little bit of injury history and it's frustrating to be hurt. And, it's hard not to wear it, on your face and in your body language because it's, I heard him say earlier, it's upsetting when you're not out there in those big situations, especially when you know that you have so much talent to give. So I'm just excited for him to be healthy and win a whole bunch of ball games for us.
A lot of guys have come through and said a lot of things about Dusty Blake and what they learned from him and what they picked up from him, how he's balancing that new age versus a kind of old school way of delivering it. What have been your experiences? And you experienced some of that with him this offseason?
Yeah, Dusty's been great. He's, I've never been huge into the analytics and the spin rate, probably because mine are like mostly average. If I'm not great at it, I'm like, it's okay. It's a cool metric, I guess. But he's really good at understanding how it's not just raw metrics that play into it. It's how you use your pitches and how you sequence them, and he's really good at that. But then also really good at helping you tinker with your stuff. to get the shape that you want on it or get that extra bite that you might need.
Is that kind of the key these days of giving guys as much as they want? You know, give them all of the information, but also being able to give them maybe a tip if they don't want the whole bucket of information.
Yeah, I think it's definitely you got to know your target audience. You know, guys who will tend to overthink things and hold on to too much, and then guys like me where you could probably just throw a bunch of information at me and I'll just cherry pick what I like. I like this, this, and this. I've got a little bit of experience, so I know that I don't want to really think about that. So it's and Dusty's good with reading guys in that regard.
You have a sense of how motivated Wayno will be this season. He doesn't like the way last season finished. You're a guy who I'm sure likes to needle him and
Yeah.
set the bar for him and compete with him. How fired up do you think you'll be?
I mean, if there's a version of Wainwright that I would be the most worried about as an opponent, it would probably be this one. You know, a guy with that much experience and that much knowledge going into a final year when you know he's going to be out there emptying the tank on a regular basis because it's his last go around. I mean, that's a guy you got to worry about. You know, going 8, 9 innings. You know, hopefully a whole bunch of times.
He talked today about again how he knows he rubbed people the wrong way when he played against them, but
Yeah.
but he likes that. He thinks that you guys will like him now that he's on this team.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're maybe one of the guys that he has potentially rubbed the wrong way in the past.
I mean, if you hit a couple home runs off me, it rubs me the wrong way. So yeah, but I think that's part of what makes the sport so fun. And one of the reasons I liked always going to Wrigley because their fans will kind of give it to you also. But that's what makes the sports fun. You hear a lot of guys. You love him as a teammate, but hate him as an opponent. I think those are great guys. I mean, I might be one of them too because I'm in the dugout and Jack and I especially we're yelling at the other team, we're yelling at the pitcher. They probably can't stand it if they can hear us. Our fans are pretty loud sometimes, but those are good guys, and that's that competitive nature. As an opponent, sometimes you have to find things to I don't care what it is. I'm just gonna dislike it about him because he's my opponent. Like how dare he wear white cleats when they come play us in our home ballpark? You just pick little things, and so now that we can lay all those things aside, I've talked to him a few times. I'm excited to throw to him. I think he's going to be a great addition and fit in really well in our ball club.
How quickly does that change? I mean, the catcher-pitcher relationship is something different and it's close.
Yeah.
Your relationship with Wilson not been close, particularly as a hitter-pitcher. I mean, does it change the moment he signs? Does it change with a text? Does it have a conversation coming in the spring?
I met him in the lobby for the first time the other day at Hotel Sun. I gave him a nice handshake, and it's a good, firm handshake. And I think that's all you need. Like, all right, we're buds now. We're best friends now. So that's good.
He says he's going to get Jupiter starting Monday, 2 or 3 days a week. He wants to be there early. How much can that help? Because you guys are going to be gone during spring training. How much can you and Wayno build a chemistry with him?
I think that's good. I think it'll happen quick. I've been saying a lot that because we've played him so many times over the last couple of years, he's familiar with our stuff. So he just needs to get behind the plate and get a little bit better look at it. And, conversations and this and that will happen. And we make sure we take extra time in spring training, before and after bullpens to talk about stuff and sequencing and maybe go over some extra film here and there before the season to make sure we're all on the same page. But the guy's been a catcher in the major leagues for a long time and, very professional guy. So I know that, the pitchers will do our homework and he'll do his and we'll be on a good page. He could, but you gotta be careful because you gotta show up or you don't want to get blacklisted from the boat.
Did you ever get Yachty on the boat?
No, hadn't gotten him out
So
there.
you can have a good pitcher-catcher relationship without a pitcher.
Yes, it is possible.